morning, guys. Just want to give you this video. It has recently resurfaced the audio recording of Obama. Take a listen.
Since that time, now the measure has been virtually ignored by the mainstream media. Now the order essentially gives the President of the United States absolute power over any and all American resources during both times of peace and national crisis. Now this includes, but is not limited to, food and livestock, water, plants, energy, health resources, transportation, and construction materials, and gives the government the ability to, quote, control the general distribution of any material, including applicable services in the civilian market. Now, White House Press Secretary Jay Carney laughed off a question about the document at today's briefing. Let's take a look. Some online commentary suggesting this gives the executive branch power to allocate energy, food, water in either peacetime or wartime. And there are some conservative blogs that are pushing the notion that this suggests the White House is preparing for war with Iran. Can you explain what this executive order wants to do? Well, I cannot explain that reaction to it. I think it was a fairly standard and routine piece of business. Now, not everybody's laughing about this executive order. In fact, some have suggested this would give the President of the United States the authority to declare basically martial law during times of peace. And to be sure, this is simply the latest string of actions taken by the administration that ignore the basic principles of our Constitution. Join me now.
Good afternoon, everybody. So the government is working under extraordinarily difficult conditions. Many communications are down and many people remain unaccounted for. The scale of devastation is extraordinary, as I think all of us are seeing on television, and the losses are heartbreaking. I pledged America's continued commitment to save lives and deliver relief, and in the long-term effort to rebuild, that it is absolutely essential that these efforts are well coordinated with the United Nations, which continues to play an essential role, and with the many international partners and aid organizations that are now on the ground. Search and rescue efforts continue to work, pulling people out of the rubble, often under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. Food, water, and medicine continues to arrive, along with doctors and aid workers. The entire world stands with the government and the people. We all see the common humanity that we share. And as the international community continues to respond, I do believe that America has a continued responsibility to act. Our nation has a unique capacity to reach out quickly and broadly and to deliver assistance that can save lives. That responsibility obviously is magnified when the devastation that's been suffered is so near to us. It's characteristic of the American people to help others in time of such severe need. That's the spirit that we will need to sustain this effort as it goes forward. There are going to be many difficult days ahead. So many people are in need of assistance, and the roads are damaged. Food is scarce.
The roads are damaged.
It will take time to establish distribution points so that we can ensure that resources are delivered safely and effectively and in an orderly fashion. We'll do what it takes to save lives in this effort. I want to thank our people on the ground, our men and women in uniform who have moved so swiftly, our civilians and embassy staff, many of whom suffered their own losses in this tragedy, and those members of search and rescue teams who left their homes and their families behind to help others. To all of them, I want you to know that you demonstrate the courage and decency of the American people, and we are extraordinarily proud of you. I also want to thank the American people more broadly. In these tough times, you've shown extraordinary compassion. And tomorrow I will be meeting with President Clinton and President George W. Bush here at the White House to discuss how to enlist and help the American people in this recovery and rebuilding effort going forward. It was an emotional moment. And this president, seeing the devastation around him, passed this message to the American people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know, folks. It just is real or not. I don't know if it's leaked. If this was something that they did prior to, something that's coming or something that they're planning. You know that their whole plan is order out of chaos. But it was Obama that said that he thought it was more probable of a nuclear weapon being detonated in lower Manhattan than for Russia to attack the United States.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. We have President Obama on videotape telling us about a false flag that's to come, and that as they listen to the rest of the tape, which they have not made public to us yet, that it speaks of Russia detonating a bomb in lower Manhattan. We see signs of this all over right now, that Obama is saying, Russia has done this and Russia has done that. And in reality, today is October the 20th, and we had ceasefire broken again when Russia and Syria made passageways for all of the people out of Aleppo, and that whole eastern side that's getting bombed by the U.S.-led rebels. And as soon as people started to try to go out, they immediately started with snipers and bombs and air support to kill the people that were trying to leave. And we did receive news that 3 Russian soldiers who were protecting the people trying to run from the streets across were actually shot by U.S.-led snipers. So this is not the first time. Every time Russia tries to make it possible for the civilians to get out of eastern Aleppo, the U.S.-led coalition comes and starts. We saw some evidences today of very heavy equipment, tanks and such, being moved all around in Aleppo. And, little guys that are fighting with sticks and stones in the middle of the desert don't have access to multi-million-dollar tanks and things if these were not being supplied by the U.S. military. We've seen in the last couple of days where Russia and Syria has tried to make passageways to get the civilians out of Aleppo, that there have been basically people grabbed, mostly children on their way to school, in the middle of the streets and being used as human shields by the militant rebels. And we have to think back on the speeches where Obama said that we are going to arm and train moderate rebels on the ground. And this ISIL, ISIS, Daesh rebels are now become insanely crazy. We've seen Al-Nusra, which was Hillary's upstart, taking a young boy and cutting off his hand, and then laying him down in the bed of the truck and chopping his head off. So, every time Russia's asked them, okay, who can we hit and where should we not hit, we get conflicting reports. And now we have this tape, which was taken down, and it has now resurfaced, and you hear the voice of, obviously, Obama, I feel. Allegedly, you can take and listen to it, make your own decisions, but you're listening to Carney at a press secretary, and then you're listening to the White House tape that was released, and it's pretty obvious to me, folks. I mean, we all say allegedly because we have to, but Obama saying that the roads and things, and these 2 interviewers go on to discuss that the bombs started in Manhattan area and that they're nuclear bombs, and you hear the voice of presumably Obama himself saying that, all the American people just take care and be strong, and we'll send you to distribution points eventually, and there's all these NATO and people that are here running around, and they're here to help you. They came in to watch the election in 2008, and they never went home. Obama has been slowly recruiting his own army, and anyone in the American military who doesn't take the mark of the beast has been outed, including generals. So, take care, my friends. And if you'd like to continue supporting this ministry, please contact me, Ellie Rivera, at yahoo.com.